whatever milestones that Black people make against hate, it ends up benefiting all the other people of color. I can't see what his end game is. The Republican Party is the party of racism, is the party of white supremacy, is the party of hate. This is wrong, and it needs to stop.
Everybody wants to go back and drag that piece of history up, but they don't want to go back and deal with what their ancestors did to the indigenous people and to Black people in this country. You got to go. And you got billionaires talking about going to space and Jeff Bezos. Go! Never come back. I hope you get lost. This man has lost his mind.
Boom! Come on, girlfriend. What is up, everybody? It is Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Also, I host the only online broadcast in the world for dads and fathers that is co-sponsored by Dove Men Care and Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And being part of that collaboration last year, I was part of a team that reached out to over 100,000 fathers around the world, dads and fathers. So we are broadcasting live on February 5th. Yes, we are in a new month. They call this Black History Month on this side of the ocean. I know in England it's another month in the year, but it is Black History Month. But let's just say Black History and cross out the month. Just like Black History, period. No month. It's 365. We are hanging out on a Saturday night, and you know what? I'm like doing my date nights on Saturday night. I get double dates on Saturday night with two wonderful people. So let's bring the state of things time with Aisha and Jill. So let's bring them up. Hey. What's going on? Jill, you're on. Oh, Jill, are you on? Okay, there we go.
Yes.
We got you now. How are things, ladies?
Nice.
Good.
Had a good week?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty okay. It's been cool out here and the
Cali.
weather. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Nice cozy sweater and my hygge kind of vibe, and that's very nice.
Aisha, how are things with yourself?
Good. We're supposed to have another storm.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
It missed us.
Yeah, you missed it?
It missed us because it was sunny all day here.
Nice.
Here in
Toronto, we're supposed to be getting another one by the end of the week. So we'll see.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, the last month has been crazy.
It's so crazy. I just can't keep up with the storms. I know that Texas got another kind of freeze again. And I was looking for this woman online who was a few weeks ago on Twitter telling me that I was crazy, thinking that anything was going to happen in Texas again, and bloop. And I wanted to find whoever, because, I sometimes screenshot these people's things and put them in categories on my phone so I can go back and say, I told you so, just because I'm petty like that. And
you're petty.
Yes, I wanted to go back and say, I told you so, that this was going to happen. She was one of those going at AOC for, you know how people like to take handouts and then bite the hand that feeds them. I was like, AOC, let's not forget, raised $10 million for the people of Texas when their own senators and governors did absolutely nothing for them after the deep freeze of last year. And she's like, you're probably one of those crazy climate change people. I'm like,
jeez.
So I was looking for her. I spent a good couple hours the other day hunting her down and dragging and trolling her. Just
well, if I ever want to get trolling lessons, I'm knocking at your digital doorstep.
No, not at all. I mean, you're not going to be in my categories of follow-up category. This was a climate change follow-up.
I do the same.
Yeah, I had it titled as deep freeze follow-up.
Both of you are wrecking me up already. We're not even like a little over 5 minutes in, and you're wrecking me up. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start bringing Kleenexes on the side now for every show because it's already happening. Oh my goodness! Yeah. So we want to shout out to some people who are watching live. Jen Myers, our faithful Jen Myers, says hello, everyone.
I know. Hello,
Kevin Messam. I don't know when. He says I'm back in LA next week. Where are you right now? Then, if you're in LA next week, where are you right now? And Jen is saying we had a bad storm again this week. Snowstorm in Ohio.
Really?
Yes. And Kevin is saying, was supposed to get another storm in New York, had an ice storm yesterday in New York. Ooh.
Oh gosh.
And he is located in New York.
Yeah, I just talked to somebody yesterday, and I guess they were just they weren't feeling well, and they obviously didn't even tell me about the ice storm. They're like,
wow,
it's just happening all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe that storm changed its course of direction and went straight up because it didn't, nothing hit us at all. It was raining yesterday.
Oh, that's interesting. So it just sort of skipped you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lucky.
Hey, shout out to Blue Rains. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Blue Rains. Hope all is fine with you.
Yes.
Also, lots of people chiming in already, liking this. Got Tamara. Hey, I'm in Texas.
Hi.
We were out of power for just one day this time compared to 2 weeks during last year's freeze.
A lot better, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Parts of Ohio had ice, but in Cleveland, we had snow. All right. I got relatives in Cleveland. Yes. Got it. And there's new nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I heard. And one of them is Kate Bush.
Oh, wow. How I don't know if she'll come.
Nah,
she doesn't fly.
She doesn't fly anyways, and I think I think the way they do it, and I may not be right, but I think they have public voting is a percentage of the whole thing along with the critics. So hopefully Kate could get in. Kevin is saying roads were full of black ice.
That's crazy.
In New York, that's not safe. Yes, Columbus, Ohio was no joke weather-wise Thursday and Friday.
I had no idea. I honestly, my normal people aren't keeping me up in the loop about what's going on weather-wise because we had such huge, crazy Santa Anas. That's one thing we did have. Again, the winds that come and,
Wow. So the weather seems to be playing havoc. There's no climate change going on, right?
Not at all. No.
Yes. Jen Myers is saying, yes, lots of good nominees. Jen, if you can share with us, Jen, because I heard in a report, I didn't get all the nominees, but it seemed to be an interesting list this year. So that's good.
Really great. My daughter will love to hear Kate Bush was nominated. We're a Kate Bush family first.
Well, did I tell you I had a chance to meet her?
Yes, I told you that we love her so much. She's like
amazing. Kevin Messon says All-Star Weekend in Cleveland this year. So it's NBA All-Star Weekend is in Cleveland, I guess.
Oh, wow.
And then he's also saying Santa Ana wins, baby.
Totally, it's crazy. And so your allergies and everything is all messed up, and just it pales in comparison to people dealing with that snow, though.
The wind chill factor here has just been.
Oh, God. This morning, I was outside this one at 6 a.m. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my.
Yeah, you guys are making me feel left out.
Oh, well, you can come and join us. We'll take
Yes,
you.
I might have to.
I mean, I woke up Thursday morning and it was 3 degrees here.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when they had the nerve in Texas to be talking about these are frigid temperatures. I was watching, I'm like, no, 3 degrees is frigid.
Yeah.
32 degrees, I can live with.
But Texas, they're not usually prepared for that. They
No.
hardly have the coats and the warmth, and God, I can't even imagine turning on your heater that isn't used to going down.
Okay, so here we go. So Kevin is saying, oh yes, a Tribe Called Quest, Dionne Warwick have been nominated. Kevin, Aisha is based in Connecticut, not too far from where you is.
I think I'd like to see a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah,
inducted.
I would love that. You know what would be cool, Jill and Aisha, having Tribe Called Quest and Kate Bush singing a song together.
Oh gosh,
because Fife Dog is dead, so it'd just be Q-Tip.
Yeah.
And Kevin is saying, Jill, LA is my next move. I'm done with East Coast
Oh
winters.
no,
Thinking
really?
in another 2 years.
I mean, it's getting chilly out here, but still, I mean, like we're in the 30s at different times, but it's not as cold as like up north.
Right.
But it's still a lot better than being back east from what I can see. But yes, definitely. Oh, you're in
Aisha,
Westchester.
Kevin has said he's in Westchester.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just over the state line.
All right. Well, we'll stop doing our weather reports, our North American weather reports. Let's let people are here for you to chat about the sane world we live in. So let's start with the first form of sanity. And actually, I was at my dad's house yesterday when I saw this on the television. Oh boy, Pence says 45 is wrong to say then Vice President had the right to choose or overturn the election. When you first heard this, what was your reaction?
I kept drinking my tea.
Yeah. it was like
a little too late for me.
By Tuesday, he's going to pull it back.
Yeah, and then we'll know what this all was about, right?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, this is the same person who couldn't even, like, if Trump took a sip of water, he had to take a sip of water.
Right.
Okay. It's crazy. I think he's trying to make his leap back into politics, which means that he's going to be more of a establishment Republican.
Yes.
But the bottom line is that, so few establishment Republicans exist now that they've all jumped the fence over to Trump. So it boggles the mind why he would say this now. He didn't say anything when they were talking about lynch Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. He still wouldn't say anything was wrong. And so now I think he's at a point where he's trying to draw a line of demarcation between himself and Donald Trump in an effort to get back into politics.
I think he tried it, obviously, because it came off the heels of Donald Trump's last rally saying, again, it was Mike Pence's fault. And God only knows how many death threats Mike Pence got off of that. We probably can say he probably got some again from Trump's, mentally crippled followers. I think that, he also is trying to be the moderate, the establishment Republican. But then you have Rona Romney from the RNC, who basically has clapped back that, they're all in full support still of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And those dreams that Pence had for running or finding any support are gone. I think that was just sort of a message to him, like, don't even think. A lot of people, a lot of soldiers would have to be destroyed in order for any establishment Republicans to come back. I mean, though they're gone. And if anything, many of them are probably trying to figure out, how to get out of this and not even be Republicans anymore, or how to double down even harder and get what they can get for their constituents. It's going to be a very interesting election coming up. But yeah, with Pence doing this, I still can never trust him because I never know if he's still doing the bidding of that orange cow. And so it's really, really difficult to say, except I just don't even get pulled into it. Everybody wanted to say, should we already, congratulate? No, we don't congratulate anybody. These people have done nothing for us. What, just because he decides he wants to tell the truth now when it doesn't mean anything? Sorry, a little bit too late for me. We had actual law enforcement officers die trying to save you and protect you at the Capitol, all of that. People fighting for their lives, and you haven't said anything in how many months? A year? Go screw yourself. That's ridiculous. He didn't even say hardly anything after January 6th of last year. So it's like, you want to talk about it now? You want to talk about it now?
Honestly, I think the reason that he's coming up and saying this stuff now is because he's also trying to draw a line of distinction between himself and the people who were in the cabinet who were helping to plan January 6th, and that he's worried the committee is going to have some questions for him because, remember, his chief of staff already sat with them.
That too. Yeah, you're right. He had to do that line of demarcation, like, don't shoot me, I'm the messenger, and he was nothing. I mean, he's done nothing. People who sit on the fence actually, to me, can be the most dangerous. And for, how can you respect people who sit on the fence? Actually, I have more respect for people who take one side or the other at the end of the day. But don't try to play us, Pence. There were family members over the holidays who did not have their loved ones with them for many reasons because of that administration that you were a part of.
What party in your opinion is more divided right now, the Democrats or the Republicans?
They all are. They're all really wilding out. I think they all are to a degree. I think on one hand, the Republicans are divided from us, the Democrats, but I also feel that within each party, the Democrats clearly have some divides. The Republicans have theirs. The only thing is they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They're not talking about it. They're letting it just run willy-nilly. They have the ones with the balls and the ones without the balls. So the ballless ones just sit back and don't say anything. They're letting people, shoot their best shot and make them look like idiots, and letting Liz Cheney go out there and do their fighting for them, like the Mitt Romney hiding behind Liz's skirt. And he'll be dancing around soon. Don't worry, Mitt's getting geared up for something, but he's a loser too because he's a little too late as well.
I mean,
he looks like he's trying to eke out, but he ain't no Eka mouse.
No.
Eka Mouse? You're dropping Eka Mouse?
Eka Mouse.
Oh, Jill, you don't know Eka Mouse.
Yes, I love Eka Mouse. Uh-huh. Oh, I was a big fan.
Oh, gosh. Go ahead, Aisha. Eka Mouse. Oh, boy. Oh, go ahead, Aisha.
I mean, the bottom line is that if I think Democrats, we let our division show too much, and Republicans always look like they're moving in one lockstep. Even the ones who don't want to agree with it, like Jill said, keep their mouths shut and just follow the crowd.
Right.
With Democrats, everybody's always there's so much diversity in the party that everyone has an interest in the party. Is like, okay, we want to take into account everyone's interest, each individual person.
Yes.
And for that reason, they've been highly ineffective in the last couple of cycles.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. And so I think the Democrats would do themselves a big service if they
stitch up those lips.
Yeah.
And stop going out and talking about it on every news program or new issues, Yeah, they'll bring up like the most random stuff in the middle of like the other stuff, you know, and you're like, you're in the middle of book burning, and then they want to talk about, you know,
My student loans.
Right, your student loan. It's like, let's just forget, you know, like, they just want to bring everything out on the table at the same time. And that's what does us in.
It's like, can we do voting rights first?
Thank you. Right. It's like, good God Almighty. I mean, why we now they've just come in with a new drawer and just dumped everything out there. And then you're all like going, okay, wait, where do we start again? We tabled that the other day. We tabled this one. I don't know, not here. And then we have to deal with the trans issues. And then we have to deal with the kids, you know, who didn't want to tie their shoes at school. I mean, you know, that's how it's going. And every Democrat wants to have their say, and everyone can't agree on what is the most important or not. And that's actually very concerning, because all of them right now should know that voting rights is the number one priority.
Yeah. And truth be told, if the Democrats are going to win in 2022, they need to talk about voting rights. They need to talk about the economy that's been doing much better than expected, and the jobs numbers and the unemployment, and explain that this inflation really is temporary, and it was an expected result after the pandemic, because stores liked having people fight over toilet paper. They did.
It's an artificial inflation. It's
Exactly.
not real. It's artificial. And
Exactly.
they need to talk about that if they want to talk about how artificial it is. And you're also dealing with companies that, if they don't try to capture what they lost last year, it puts their numbers off for next year. So what they're doing is they took a hit for a year in name only. Right now, they're making up for that by raising their prices. It's very simple. They are getting back what they didn't get. So that's what it is. They'll never give you anything free. You were never being given a break. And now they're trying to like float that there's inflation going on. And no, Aisha's right. They like that you were fighting over a cheap ass television that cost $25 to make. And they like that, and being sold for $800. They like that you want to fight over that and wait on that and push you to the limit of it. And it's crazy.
But you know, the other part about that is so crazy is that 2020, yes, almost every business took a hit because of the pandemic. However, these businesses got PPP funds. Okay. So they made up their 2020 losses. They are
right, but they're
raising prices now to make an even bigger profit. Right. And remember, the PPP loans were to put them back together.
But a lot of them took that money too. I mean, we won't know until later. When years later, they'll come back and show how many CEOs took it, how many small businesses took the money and then just closed up shop. I mean, there were so many things that happened. But don't be surprised. They're coming to the regular average person now and making them prove that they needed their EDD money or their unemployment. That's how fucked up they are. Now everything and everybody has to say, were you really going to get a job as a self-employed person? Or did you really need a job? So yeah, I have to do it. I have to show that things that I was doing were canceled. So otherwise, I have to pay back the little $300 that they gave for my little sustenance.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a spit in my face, turn me over and screw me in the asshole. I can't take it. You think I'm going to vote for why I have such a distaste for so many of the Democrats as well? Because they don't know how real life works. The only ones that know how it works anymore, not the rich ones, are the Rashidas, the AOCs, the maybe Ilhan. I'm still out on why she gave her husband $700,000, but I could be wrong. Somebody please tell me what that was about. But I'm just saying that some of the younger kids, Katie Price coming in, those women, they know how real life works. but the rest of them don't. They're all vying to be in a club. They know how it works too. They don't care. They all get rich and they forget how life goes on. And then they come back and want me to pay my little bit of money. So that means that the money that I got and then I donated to their campaigns with the money they were giving me, I'm going to be eating that if I don't prove to them enough that the jobs that were offered to me were canceled. I have it makes me really, some days I really just laugh my head off and go, I'm not going to vote at all. Let it all go to hell, because it gets you to that point. I sit up here and try to be optimistic about it all, but there are days that I would like it to just be in. I would like to see, everybody just in a fit where it's like, here we are. This is where we are because nobody did anything and nobody cared about the little guy. And here we are, but the little guy will always get screwed, always. So it doesn't hurt anybody but us if we don't vote. But what does hurt us are the candidates that are running. And we need more real people to get involved and to take up. I'd donate any money to people that have never been politicians anymore at this point. I just don't want them anymore. I'd rather, if we're going to have a look and learn lesson, then I'd rather do it with people that just have to go and learn it all again and go by, like the Constitution and whatnot, not these rich people with stocks and Nancy Pelosi saying she didn't think this. Nancy, you are a couple of years from your grave. Become a good person.
Well,
no, really, all of them are.
You don't want the people in Congress because remember, Lauren Boebert didn't have a high school diploma.
I get it. It doesn't matter though. I get it. But I think, then what are we going to do? Continue to have it this way? I mean, these are their people. They're all white. They look at each other and they have to reflect off of each other. That's their ill-bred result of what they created. I can't do it anymore. It really pisses me off. They haven't changed anything for people. We have Amir Locke or whatever. He got shot in somebody's house the other day in Minneapolis. Minneapolis is one of the most racist states in the freaking nation right now. Let's just call it what it is. I'm almost inclined to believe that they set up my friend and had him taken out because they wanted his land. It wouldn't surprise me. These folks are killing Black people like there's no business in Minneapolis. What the hell? And I don't understand what Keith Ellison is doing.
That's the third shooting in the Minneapolis.
It's a third. There's plenty that we don't even hear about.
That's the thing.
I mean, it's like, give me a break. I'm over it. I'm so over it that I'm like, yeah, let the bitch burn. Today, I'm kind of feeling that way. Let the bitch burn.
Aisha, would you like to follow up any burns?
No. We can go to the next topic.
I might feel different next week, but tonight, let the bitch burn.
That's your new tagline. I guess you're off of Bezos, right? Now it's and the moon.
It's frustrating. It takes so much time out of our lives to fight the fight of rich people and their fight for richness amongst themselves and how much they can all grab money at the same time and who's going to get richer. This is a big money grab. It's like somebody let them into a bank. We're all chained with our arms behind our back and they just let the rich people go and take whatever they want. Cash, they smash and grab the United States. That's what's happening. It's a smash and grab. Who the hell they think we're yesterday's fools?
I know that line from a song. Kevin's going facts. Kevin's going word, Jill, exclamation points.
Sick of it.
Word. And Kevin says, let it burn.
Yeah. Cares. And after that national breakfast that Biden did, I was fit to be tied. Fit.
That thing she said about Mitch McConnell, I'm confused. I'm still confused over that.
Oh, that was I was done. I was done. First of all, stop going to the National Christian Breakfast, the National Luciferian Christian Fraudulent Breakfast. Please stop it. Not in my name, not on my tax dollars that I can barely pay. Stop it. I don't know what they do up in there.
My only
but
guess,
it ain't Christian like.
Look,
okay?
my only guess that he came out and said that was that meeting that he had with Mitch McConnell about the Supreme Court pick must have went well. I mean, I can't think of any other reason why he
rimming Mitch McConnell. Just don't do it, or don't do it. You will have so many people behind you when you don't suck off some assholes who are keeping us and my people, all of our people, from voting. You know what? No. We're begging to vote, and you go and say, we've always been friends, me and you, Mitch. Really? Excuse me? What was that for? What was the point of that? Joe shouldn't have even gone to the breakfast. I'm sorry. We're in this situation because of the evangelicals. We're in this situation because of Baptists who have never believed in science since the freaking, like, I was watching the Waltons the other day and they were moaning about freaking science. Baptists.
All I can guess is that that meeting went very well. That's all I can say. That meeting must have went like Biden wanted it or something, because
it may have gone well, but here's the thing.
I see no reason.
What didn't go well are the people who feel like me, who are like, I'm not giving the DNC any more money. I'm not giving a dime to anybody. You don't do that on my watch. I didn't order up that kind of a president. And Clyburn, that's all you. You are responsible for this crap. If you didn't think you could deliver this shyster, if he doesn't get it together, the bitch is going to burn. Because there's only so much more that Black people can keep doing. Wringing our hands, saying our prayers in church. Half of us don't even go to church anymore. You know, half of us have been questioning the religion that these people have given our people and indoctrinated us with. Because if this is our life, this is our misery, for us to live in a place where people are sitting on their couch and people walk in, police walk in, shoot them without any stop, close your legs, open your mouth, stop, any order, the hell with it. The hell with it all. Clyburn, you're responsible for this because Biden was not the one that we were going to select. Playing games again, the Democrats. Because if you can't deliver, don't come to the door. I'm so angry about that Mitch McConnell thing. That is not the president that we wanted. People standing out for hours to vote for his ass. And this is what we get. You saying, you know, Mitch, you and I are good old, but we're friends. We don't want you to be friends. How about that? And get rid of that old Uncle Tom, Clarence Thomas, who's been a lech since the day he's been on the Supreme Court. God only knows what else that man has done to women.
Well, apparently I was looking at a story. His wife is like
knee deep in everything.
Yes.
She's just upset because her husband doesn't like her. He only married her for one purpose, to get that job.
Yeah, but apparently his wife is she's quite the power broker in her own way.
Because she became mean and angry. That's what happens to women like that. They become mean. Don't think he doesn't pay for it.
I saw a few things we got to look at. Kevin saying, Papa Joe, SMH. And then he's saying, Bobby saying frightening that he considers Mitch a friend. Mitch, who repeatedly says Republicans won't back anything unless anything Congress passes.
Wasting our time.
And then Kevin says, sucker MC, Clarence Thomas.
Totally.
But everything that his wife is involved with is or has gone before the Supreme Court.
Yes.
But nothing's going to happen to her.
Exactly.
And that's what is frustrating.
And
They're all such good friends, remember?
The part that bothers me is the fact that you got these Republican leaning justices saying, "Oh, we don't want to politicize the court." But when Clarence Thomas's wife can come before the court with so many different causes and issues that are political, you already made the court political.
Absolutely, with his trash bag of a wife. Seriously. Trash. She's trash. And she's aging like hell. It's like, girl, go get some work. Get some extensions. Look better than that.
Aisha,
get on a hormone therapy
this week?
Program. I mean, really, they look like,
Okay, Jill, behave yourself. We're gonna move on because we got more
trash.
His wife is the white version of what's that doctor? The doctor that was he was supposed to be. He should have been the oh God, what is his name? The one who was head of HUD under Trump.
Oh, Carson, Ben
yes.
Carson.
Yes.
Carson,
oh my God, I don't even know.
What's happened
that
to
man.
Him?
His wife. Their wives are very much alike. Just one black, one white.
All right,
although the black wife knew what a $31,000 desk conference table looked like. She knew the value of that. I have to say, but she's a fool too. Her husband is just a simpleton. Okay, that man is simple, as my grandma would have called him. Simple. Simple's very different. Simple with his simple ass.
Jill, we're still on our first conversation.
Oh, are we? I'm sorry. First
okay, all right. Okay, let's go. Just some, no, it's all right. It's all good. Kevin is saying politics in America is like WWF wrestling. They're all cool with each other. Black Beauty says, yes, Jenny rules Thomas's world. Kevin says, no different with Bush and the Bin Laden family. And Black Beauty, Uncle Ben. And Carson got his bag and bounced.
Right. Uncle Ben on the old box of rice.
Yes, on the old ones. Exactly. All right, great. Well, the interaction, keep it going. If you're watching this live, if you're not watching this live, you are missing out. Let's go to the next conversation, a little bit more serious topic. And Aisha, I want you to lead on this because we forgot to mention it during our last conversation. Bridgeport NAACP asked the DOJ to investigate police department following Lawrence Smith Fields and Brenda Lee Rawls cases. Go ahead.
Well, in Bridgeport, Connecticut, 2 women were found dead the same day. Wow. And the police, the first one was 24, and that's Lawrence Smith Fields. And apparently she had someone that she met up with for the first time from a dating site, woke up next to her and found her dead and called the police. But they didn't really question him as to what really happened, and nor did they inform her family. The way her family found out that she was dead was after not being in touch with her. They went over to her apartment and the landlord told them. So they hadn't really investigated that. And so when the family went into her apartment, they found bloody sheets, a pill, and and a used condom. And the police, what they realized was that the police never took any evidence or anything. They didn't secure the scene or anything, and they didn't arrest that guy or even question him, because apparently one of them said that he was a nice guy.
Oh,
and he seemed like a nice guy. So then there was Brenda Lee, 53 years old, the same day, basically the same things. And if I'm not mistaken, the same exact police officers responding to it. And again, they did not alert the family. There was a man there at her house, and they had not questioned him or anything. And again, the same thing with I think they both were diagnosed as fentanyl overdoses.
Wow.
Yeah. And so the Bridgeport NAACP actually had a town hall meeting last Sunday, a virtual one. And I went and I listened to it, and I listened to a lot of people's complaints, and that the police in Bridgeport are not doing a really solid job in terms of how they reach out to the community and work with the community. But this made national news. It was just really strange. It's a really strange thing, but we know why, they didn't look further into the cases, because they were Black women.
They were saying that the combination that of the drugs in her body were odd. There was the fentanyl, there was promethazine and hydroxyzine, antihistamines that can be used as sedatives, and then of course the alcohol that the guy is saying that they were drinking. But her family is saying she did not use any drugs, and they believe she was drugged during this encounter, because she did meet him on Bumble, the dating app. And so now they've, since the 27th of January, they've started to investigate. But the problem is most of the evidence now is gone. And it's non-existent. So there's just yet again another big problem that people, white supremacists in their own way, no matter what job they're in or whatever, they're showing their solidarity to it, and they're not doing their jobs, like where there were checks and balances in a lot of these professions, in everything, in agencies, in everything. Our whole system, when there's no checks and balances, everything collapses. It's like kind of, making a cake and you don't have enough of something in there to make it rise or support it. So we're in a really bad way when they stop, investigating cases.
Well,
because they're not supposed to determine who to arrest. That's up to the DA. That all of that is up to what the DA wants to, how they want to proceed and move ahead in the judges when you arrest them for suspicion or something. But they didn't even go through the proper process that you do with a case like that in homicides.
Here's the other thing about that's so odd, is that it was a suspicious death. They didn't know what she had in her system at the time.
No.
This young 24-year-old dead, and it's a suspicious death.
They treated her like a prostitute, basically. Right. They treated her like a call girl from the get-go, based upon the melanin in her skin. They don't even have to tell me that that's what happened. I know that's what happened.
Yeah,
they did. And for all we know, this guy, after investigating at him, we don't know what he's been doing. We don't know what his beliefs are. We don't know if this was his dog whistle to his people. We have no idea, but it's worth investigating.
Yeah, I mean, the guy could be a serial killer.
Absolutely, that was the other thing. But they don't. Whether that was the first of all, she's a Black woman, and she also is a woman to boot, and it was the first time. Come on, so some heads should be rolling in that department.
Right, and her family felt that it was discrimination based on the fact that the guy that she met, that they thought was a nice guy, was white.
Of course, yeah.
Wow. Okay, we got some more comments here. Black Beauty saying, I have no faith in the DOJ actually escalate, I think, charges. We can't even get to the DOJ to prosecute 45, but we can all go all the way to Syria to get rid of a problem, but no problems here.
Exactly. I don't think we're going to ever get Trump either. That's just the way I feel.
And also another comment, Blue Rains, the police didn't even notify her family. They left a note on her door. It's disgusting how the deaths of these two women were handled.
That whole department should be fired for that. The whole department, captain too. And everybody in that township should demand for their resignation. Because those are not people who are there to protect you.
Yeah.
They are overseeing people killing you.
They need to lean on the mayor.
That's a big difference. You see, it's like the Minneapolis police. They're the overseers of how to kill more Black people and people of color. And that's what Connecticut just proved that little township is. They're the overseers of your demise.
Bridgeport's one of very few cities here that has a majority minority population.
Well,
too, and so that's one of the other things that people on the ground were saying about this, is that they just feel like they don't get any respect from the police officers.
No, they won't, because those people hate them.
Yeah.
And I don't really believe that policemen should be staying in states in the same townships. I think they should, since they can't develop relationships knowing who people are on beats, which they've tried that in Newark and all of that, but I think that's bullshit. I don't even know if that works, really. I know that one senator, he seems to think everything's so hunky-dory. When you go, hey, Mr. Officer, no, those days are really not working. People need to be evaluated like, I don't know what to tell you. They just, we had killers who used to work in the Bronx, remember? And they hated being stationed there. Okay. Hated the Black people.
Kevin is saying a note on their door, unacceptable. Yeah. And Tamara saying justice for all except those with melanin.
That's the truth. I mean, that should be right underneath on the Statue of Liberty. Justice for all except Black and brown people. If you're that, don't even bother coming. And if you're leaving, don't come back. You hear?
Anything you want to add, Jill?
Aisha.
No. Aisha. Sorry, Aisha. Jill, yeah, really. Is there anything Jill wants to add? I think she's got. I think she cleaned her slate on that one.
Yeah, I think that this is something that we're going to keep watch of, like just like we're doing on something else that we didn't even think to talk about today, but the HBCUs being getting the bomb threats. It's something that we're going to have to stay on top of.
Absolutely.
And and people wonder why Miss America jumped out of a window.
Yeah.
Another one of our beautiful Black women who people sit up and go, oh, but they had it all. They're on TV. You know, there's not enough when you are just that, when you're actually, it also goes the other way. When you're the one in a group of many to be carrying the load too. That's not great either. That's hard as hell. That's hard as hell to put our young people out there, the ones that are achieving and getting their degrees, and they're going into these white vanilla environments and they're doing the best they can. But I'm telling you, they need so much support because they are one of not many. They're just a one few. And they need a lot of support. This is tough. And the country has let us all down.
Anything else to Aisha?
No, I just, it's just really sad.
How many of us have had to deal with some of those dumb conversations from certain people, even when they're well-meaning? I didn't know that you all were like really going through everything from back in slavery. And I mean, well-meaning. Some people are really well-meaning and they want to know. We're going to have a chat at coffee so we can all discuss it and find out how we can help you. You know, it's just how about I'm at a loss anymore. The bitch has to burn. I think sometimes out of the ash is the only way something can come clean and actually new, because we're just recycling old adages and old things, and we think we're helping and then we don't.
Can't let go of the past. Can't let go of the past.
But we can't give them an inch either, because look what happens if you let go of the past. Look what they do to you.
They're burning books.
They run you over and basically are like, you know, you don't matter. We gave you enough. We gave you what we thought you deserved. Now you better make it on your own. Really? I can get a bank loan? No, because we've redlined you. We've made sure that your credit scores are going to be lower than ours. We've done it all to fuck you. And you should be happy that we gave you that opportunity. That's what it is. And they do not even understand the systemic part of it themselves. They say they do, but they don't. And the ones that do, like the bankers that you go and look at, every banker, every hedge fund person who's out there right now being allowed to purchase houses are a threat to every Black person in this country at the moment, because they will determine many, many more of our people who will be homeless. Because then you have to deal with the fact that how many of our Black brothers and sisters are going to be able to go and apply for apartments? What's the criteria to make 80 times the rent of 1 month? That was in one place. Actually, how do you do that? Why the fuck would you be renting if you made 80 times what the rent was? They do that. And I've seen it. But this is where we're headed. And there's nobody to catch everybody who's going to fall.
Well, I think already the pandemic
and yet they want us to vote for them. They want us to vote for them. I'm like, hey, next insurrection, let's just let them go and get all of you. And the ones that survive are the ones that come out on their own good. Okay? Why would I lift a finger to protect them? Why? That's not my job.
Oh, let's have some comments here. Kevin saying Black and Brown Pain is the new campaign.
Yeah, and they are good at exploiting us too.
Yes. Are the BLM shirts, t-shirts in the Gap yet? I have no idea.
Oh no, but she bought 5 houses.
And then Black Beauty saying, bring it, Jill, bring it, preach. We'll move on to the next conversation topic. It only gets better on a week like this. And this I have to give a little bit more input because it's on my side of the border. Ottawa and other cities brace for escalating protests Saturday, which is today. So for those who do not know, I am based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And over the last week or so, we've had a large amount of truckers. First, they went into the city, not Canada's national capital, Ottawa, and basically shut it down. And what was even worse is some of them were stealing food from the homeless.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. And then seeing some pictures of people driving around with their cars with swastika flag.
Right.
It was, and today in Toronto, we had a protest. Now, from what I've read, it wasn't that severe, but there was anti-protesters, especially a lot of people in the health profession were protesting against
their masks.
Yeah, these
and the
people were against
vaccine,
this.
right?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, as I was telling Jill and Aisha, for those who are not aware, in Toronto, our provincial government, which is state government in America, the headquarters is in downtown Toronto, but it's right at the top of a long street. If you go down that street, probably every one of them are like 4 or 5 major hospitals are on this street. And the big concern about this protest today was, would they block people who wanted to get admitted? But the police planned ahead of time and did barricades, etc., to prevent that from happening.
Well, you still have some shred of decency. What is this with Justin Trudeau? They said he is in hold up. Well, he has COVID too, right?
Well, a lot of people are a little suspicious that he seemed to get this COVID when they were coming to Ottawa. It just seemed to coincide with that. So don't know if it's real or not. Next week I'm going to bring it on. There was a black representative of Parliament, and he made a really amazing about 2-minute speech about the situation. And I don't know if I'll be able to pull it up today, but next week for sure I'll pull it up. And it was a really powerful 2-minute statement about what was going on in Ottawa and a little bit of in Toronto. So, and the funny thing is, really and truly, it's the provincial governments that are doing the mandating. It's not the federal government, but the truckers are mad at the federal government because of they have to get vaxxed, and it's a federal government directive, not a provincial government directive. But the funny thing is, 85% of the truckers are vaxxed.
Right.
It's a small
so
fringe.
This is who's paying for this protest?
Well,
is the question.
There's a good question, because there was a GoFundMe account,
right?
That was donated. They donated $9 million.
Global people all over. Yes, and of course, it's a lobbyist, because who the hell would be standing out in the cold, as you said, below zero, protesting? These are being paid. People are being paid to protest.
It's like the protest when COVID first started spreading here, and you had all those anti-maskers going to Michigan and to Virginia.
Yeah,
like Trump sent them all out to different states, and they were protesting at the state houses. And
they had tour lanyards, right?
They had the swastikas and everything, and they were armed, and they had gas masks, and this was over some damn masks.
It was the swastika tour.
Okay, so, and I think Kevin's giving some update that I don't know if the 45 2024 flags were in Toronto or not. They were in Ottawa. That I know for sure.
Yes.
And then Black Beauty was saying, rally backed up your traffic in Canada. Today it's been making national news. Well, we thought it could be more serious. So if it's just backing up traffic, that's minor. But we're concerned about anyone getting hurt. But do you
think they were trying to take a page out of the book from like the French truckers? When the French do things, they do it where they all are like, we're going to, boycott, and we're all going to shut down.
Yeah, I think they were. They were doing this in different cities across Canada too.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the aftermath is. But getting back to the $9 million for the GoFundMe. So GoFundMe now has shut. I don't know if they've frozen the money. I know they shut down the account because they found out that some of these individuals were doing violent acts, again, taking money.
They can't get the money. GoFundMe won't let them have it.
Yeah,
they'll
shut
refund
down.
Everybody.
Yeah,
they'll refund everybody. But then now I'm hearing that these individuals are now doing it through crypto.
Well, we know how cryptocurrencies are. We certainly know that that's one way that they want to do it, but unfortunately, other people ruin it for everybody else. It's too much. And, it's crazy. We hear one thing in one country, and that's why thanks for telling us, because it's like when we heard that Denmark was lifting all of its
I heard
things.
about that.
But you've got to remember, Denmark is 90% vaccinated. So there's a big difference when people try to compare themselves to some of these countries that are like 90% vaccinated. You Americans, first of all, the Americans love to compare themselves with people in countries that are smarter than they are.
I know.
It's astounding. It's like you all were the offspring of criminals who came here.
Oh.
Yeah, Australia got them, especially the English and the Irish. Even my ancestors from England and Ireland, they were criminals. I had one from the Whig Party, related to the president who died.
Oh, I think Kevin has shared the link. I'll see if I can put it on the back channel. But yeah, he's shared me the speech. So I'm gonna try and get it in the back channel. But thank you, Kevin, for sharing the speech. I'm gonna have to see if I can get that link up. But yeah, so we will keep a watch.
You have crazies from our country supporting yours.
Oh, I know that.
Money.
Oh,
yeah.
By the way,
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's a little
on the dark
close.
side of the web.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
do.
I know that. I know that for sure. I know that for sure. I know that there are people in America that are definitely involved in it up here.
And they're big lobbyists who are involved in all of it. And until that was one of the other things, but I don't know if your campaigns allow as little transparency as ours do with our super PACs.
It's not as crazy.
We're not even supposed to be accepting money from foreign entities, but we know that they're coming in through the super PACs, right, Aisha?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the whole thing with Trump and the people saying that he had foreign money.
Yeah.
And somehow everybody just turned the other way.
Yeah.
Which should have disqualified him from running.
From the get, yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's funny, we said it a long time ago, follow the money.
They follow it, but then they get paid themselves along the way. That's the problem. It's like you send somebody down follow the money, and they're like picking up coins too. And then they don't tell you where's the money. Like, yeah, they've been pocketing, it's like pocketing it all too. And then like, gee, I don't know what happened. That's all you can think after all of this. It's kind of like all these people are like Ivy League graduates. And I'm like, if you just hadn't figured out how to indict this man, I mean,
oh my goodness.
To college. Almost everybody in Congress has gone to Yale, Harvard. Wow, talk about like a reason to not waste your money and go to college, because none of them could figure out how to get out of a freaking pillowcase if we put them in one.
Well, here's what I don't understand. At this point, they interviewed like 600 people, right? they have 60,000 pieces of paper.
Right.
What was it, like 4,000 just from Trump or something like that, and then they've got all this other stuff, and it's like, at this point, just charge him. How much more information do you need?
Thank you. Charge him for, I don't even care, adultery, shoplifting, anything at this point, because I'm sitting here looking at supposedly some of the greatest minds of all time, right?
It's like, how many more interviews do you need to do?
Yes. It's like, are you kidding me? I don't even know how y'all figure out how to get out from under your covers in the morning to get up to go to work, because they're all so damn dumb, but always want to be like, I went to Yale, I'm a Harvard graduate. Really? Well, that don't mean a damn thing to me, because all y'all are just dumb as hell. I mean, no street sense, no common sense, sense. And wait, none of them have really tried any cases. First of all, that's another thing. They're all really bad attorneys. It's like, oh my God. Where's Johnny Cochran when we need him?
Oh,
they don't know how to try cases. I mean, they mean well, but they come and start running their damn mouths too much. They don't know how to try a case at all.
I mean, at this point, I look at what they have and I'm like, you have enough for me. Just show me what you have. Show me what you have. Because
it's like they want to get they want to find the corn on his foot, on his toe.
I'm gonna bring up the speech. And I gotta thank Kevin for bringing this up, and we're gonna cross our fingers to be able to play it. So here we go.
Every February.
Oh, I have a feeling we're going to get some buffering here. Okay.
I normally rise to encourage parliamentarians.
We're going to get buffering. No.
Canadians to celebrate Black History Month.
You know what? That's buffering.
These are not normal times. This past.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to see if I can.
This weekend, a small minority thought it acceptable.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, it's buffering, so I'm not going. I'm gonna see if I can do it later.
To bring swastikas and Confederate.
Yeah, it's buffering, so I'm not gonna play it. So we'll see if we can get to it later, or at least show it next week. Sorry about that, folks, but I'm gonna try diligently throughout the conversation to see if we can, if I can open it up in another window and play it for you. So let's move on to another topic because we're all over the place right now. We're all over the place, but let's continue on. Yes, Black Beauty is going. Yeah, but unfortunately, the crazy has gone north of the border in an effort to pollute everyone they can.
It's true.
And then Kevin is saying common sense isn't common.
That's true.
And as one guy I really respect in the sports radio game, Freddie Coleman says, the more I know, the less I understand.
Yeah. Well, I understand when we're getting hoodwinked.
Yep.
By the white hoods. And I'm starting to see a lot more than I thought were there.
Oh, there's lots of them, though.
Yeah, there's lots of them. But you know what? They need to, like, you know, they're going to have a come to Jesus moment with us and the voting. It's going to be shocking if they don't get on the good foot, because many of us aren't either.
Well, but I think that the Democrats are just giving out on the midterms. It's like they're kind of like resigned to the fact that Republicans are going to take it over. I'm just baffled by that. Huh? I'm just baffled by it. I'm baffled by it because none of them are saying anything that would keep them.
Well, if you saw your president talking about how Mitch McConnell and them were friends, talk about deflating. He isn't the kind of guy that's really motivated you. That was something that even I became like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. This was the worst thing he could have ever done to us as people. Really, one of the worst things he could have done was that. It's unforgivable. It was unforgivable. I don't give a fuck about his cat or his dog or any of it anymore. I just don't really give a shit. I do care about the cat because I love cats.
I thought, you know, come on. Don't be so...
But my point is with him is that was unforgivable. There's something that there's a big disconnect and he's not gotten it yet. And it's well past that sell-by date that we have to keep selling him on, you know, all this stuff. I'm sorry. It really. And who was the person? Yeah.
And you know, this isn't his first time dealing with Mitch McConnell, and Mitch McConnell had vowed to not pass anything. The night Barack Obama was elected, had that meeting, and he said that his goal is to make Barack Obama a one-term president.
He should never say this because
everything. So how can Joe Biden feel comfortable saying that in those words?
We are headed towards 1 million people dead from COVID. Who the hell does Joe Biden think he is, having the caucasity to talk about his friendship with Mitch McConnell, who's done nothing but cockblock your whole fucking first year in office? That's not the president I want. I don't want somebody smelling his balls and telling me that you're friends. I want you to say, I cut off your balls. We're no longer friends. And I'll see you at the end. That's what I want. I want you to say, I will see you. I will fight you to the death, Mitch McConnell. You know, that's what I want. No more of this dancing around. You know, what those days are gone. Did they not figure it out? We're like close to the times of like, you know, they freaking ran into the Capitol. You know, who knows if they would have like, what they all like seem to love Braveheart as a film, had people's heads stuck on like freaking pikes. It was close to that. Imagine this.
Yeah.
And then you've got your nitwit sitting up there at a fraudulent Christian Luciferian breakfast.
Well, you know, here's the
Those are not Christians.
He spoke of Mitch McConnell like this was the Mitch McConnell he knew 30 years ago.
And he wasn't a good man then.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
But
Oh,
Joe Biden has to give up the fact that those friendships that you thought you had in the Senate when you were working in the Senate with
they
Republicans,
weren't your friend.
those people don't
Hold on.
exist anymore.
All right,
They're not there.
let's move forward. So Kevin is saying facts. Blue Rain is saying, is Biden naive or delusional? Think he has friends in the Republican Party? Kevin says, go ahead, Jill. Kevin says again, friggin' minstrel show. Blue Rains is saying bipartisanship does not exist anymore. He needs to realize that.
I think he does realize it.
And Blue Rain says, yeah, I think he does too, but
I think he's just yanking our chain, and I'm here to tell you.
There you go. All right, okay, hold on. One other thing here. Seems to me at this rate, America is going to give away our democracy at the midterms. Yeah, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try and play this clip again. I'm trying to get it in another window to see if
I don't know if I'm going to get up and go.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get it to play this time. All right, let's see if we can make it happen. All right, let's see. All right, let's try it this time.
I normally rise to encourage parliamentarians and Canadians to celebrate Black History Month. These are not normal times. This past weekend, a small minority thought it acceptable to bring swastikas and Confederate flags to Parliament Hill. Let's not mince words. The Confederate flag is a symbol for slavery. Whips deformed Black bodies, forced labor, mangled limbs. Torture almost always preceded lynchings. Intellectually, I know that very, very few people today would support what the Confederate flag represented. I will assume that the Confederate flag was tolerated this weekend out of respect for the individual's freedom of expression. However, in my heart, I was left wondering, who else supports this flag? Without real-time denunciations, how am I to know? That's what scares me. Even after 188 years since the abolition of slavery in Canada, in some people's eyes, I am not equal, nor should I be free. This is why I celebrate Black history, Black Canadian history, every February and throughout the year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Where's the lie?
So that is the Honorable Greg Fergus, member of Parliament. I actually know Mr. Fergus.
Yeah,
I have interviewed him before, and powerful words there.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing and so eloquently spoken and thoughtful words. You know, we're dealing with 5 days ago, Trump had a Texas rally and there were men in the audience in blackface. I have it on my on my page. People just don't want to talk about that. That it's on my story on Instagram. Yeah. Nobody's talking about the 3 men who were standing in blackface. It's absolutely wild to see. At least there's still some level of decorum in your country with your countrymen, I have to say.
Yeah.
And that was a beautiful speech that he gave.
Well,
but where's it going to go?
Well,
is it going to bounce?
Is it going
to resonate?
I think I don't know if the speech will, but I think that that'll get paid over and over again. And I think that we'll see. Let's just say we'll see. I think, again, we don't know what people really think.
Right.
Right? That's the concern. But
yeah.
But Black Beauty says, seems to me at this rate, America will give away the midterms. And Kevin says, this is in Canada, folks.
Yeah, amazing. No, of course. We don't have that here.
Right.
Well, the good thing is that you see the reception that he got.
Oh yeah, both sides.
When
Both sides.
our politicians say things, the Black politicians say things that are semi-profound, they get nothing.
But you know what? We're at the level now where somebody should just pick up a shoe and go smack somebody in the freaking mouth with it. I mean, it's past the point of just going.
Like the guy that was throwing shoes at Bush.
Yes, it is that time of day. And it is also time for people to yell across the room to shut up and really get down on them, just like they do in Parliament in England. It's time for us to do that because I've had enough, because I couldn't work in Congress without jumping across one of those banisters and whooping somebody's ass. I'm sorry.
All right. Christy White is saying, my son was harassed in Toronto today by 45 supporters. He was very confused as this was on a university campus.
Oh my God, they're scum.
Yeah.
These people.
And then this is very just Black Beauty and the Christy White, who is a Canadian, by the way, and Black
Native.
Beauty and Native. Yeah, this is where Black Beauty says it's very disturbing to see this white nationalist movement attempting to embrace Canada. I just can't figure it out. Again, it's as concerning as it is disturbing.
Because it's very close, those borders.
Yes, really, there is no border. Really,
they're looking for sovereign land.
I know.
Yeah,
they are. They're looking for sovereign land. That's what they're doing. And,
but
they find it. You know what? Go.
Yeah, but it finds its place. There was a shooting in Germany last week with a shooter. Very rare for that to happen there. You understand? It is the vibe of this nation. Actually, is a cancer to everybody. Everybody, and they can. It just rubs off. And there are people who try to emulate it and want to.
There you go. That's what I was looking. People emulate what they replicate.
Absolutely.
They emulate what they replicate. So let us move on. That was quite a spirited last conversation. We went all around the place. And thank you everyone for tolerating. We finally got that video up. Christy White is saying exactly. Next conversation topic. It's been fun times at CNN the last little while. CNN President Jeff Zucker resigns over consensual relationship with key lieutenant. Cuomo, Zucker, gone.
Well, I kind of think there's some shady dealings going on there. I feel like this came out because Cuomo wants to get that $18 million left on his contract, and CNN.
Really, you're going there?
Yeah, and CNN doesn't want to pay, and so I think that he was holding that card because Zucker's his boy. That was the whole thing about why he didn't get fired immediately when it was his turn up.
Zucker is his boy. That is true.
If he knew who Zucker was dealing with.
Well, Time Warner owns it now. It's not Turner Broadcasting. It's not Turner anymore. No. It's now Time. It's now Warner Media, AT&T's Warner Media.
And
that's going to be,
I could see that. Well, I'm going to put this bit of information out unless you make this deal happen. And the other part of it too is that the woman that he has a relationship with is he's in an authority position above her.
Yes.
And that's the reason why he had to leave.
That's not good.
I'm not surprised, and I don't really care. I don't know how it really affects anything. They're all shitheads. And to be honest with you, and the one thing that does concern me is the new turn that AT&T, Time Warner Media, how it's going to change CNN. Because remember, they give a lot of money to Donald Trump. They gave a lot of money to him. So I don't know if these stockholders or whatever, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this station itself is just going to have a new direction and fall in line like the other ones.
So the question is, how is Don Lemon still staying in?
I don't think he's going to be staying very long. I think they've been going after him with that case, that, crazy sex charge.
Yes.
And I think ultimately, if he's smart, he's just negotiating his money out of it, and that could take months. But I do believe they're going to turn all of them over, because I don't care that somebody's dating somebody in an office. Right. I don't, not really. I think it's a stupid. I don't really care. It happens. It's the way things are.
But it was so abrupt though.
Yeah. And there's more to that story.
When they fired Chris Cuomo, they didn't have a plan as to how to fill his hour. And so it's kind of like been throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. They tried Smirkanish for a while. Then they added an extra hour for Anderson Cooper. Then they brought on this show, Democracy in Peril, that lasted I think a week. And then they put, they're back to Anderson Cooper doing an extra hour. And so it's like, how long?
Here's a question. What happened if Anderson Cooper ever left CNN ratings wise?
I think he will leave them. I do have a funny feeling that Anderson Cooper is going to leave. And like Blue Range just mentioned here on the thing, everybody knew that Jeff Zucker was in a relationship with this woman.
It was a common
knowledge. For me, I just think they decided to hold them to whatever this is about, really. And I'm telling you that the fact that AT&T is their new owner and Warner Media, it's going to change and become a little bit more rightish.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I see that whole evening block, that whole primetime block being revamped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
If they cater to the lunatics from the QAnonymous crowd and all of that, they'll get what they need. They want those reviews, mostly normal, sane, healthy-minded left, progressives have stuff to do. We're not hanging on the lips of everything that's being said on CNN. But the cute fringe people do. They have no lives. This and this box and these things, that's their life. CNN, Fox, all of it. They can't put it down. Those are total freaking losers. This Loserville. But Loserville pays the bills for, some of these television shows. Most people decided a while ago in all of this madness, when nothing was happening with indicting Trump and all of that, moved on and have moved on and found other things to do, like, going and playing mahjong or
where did that come from? Like, where the heck did that come from? We're moving on. Next subject.
Bid whist. Stop it. Solitaire.
Battleship. Why don't they go play Battleship? There you go. Kevin Messon says, I can see Anderson Cooper getting a new show like Larry King did.
He has one.
Quite possibly. He should do something else. But then he just looks like he's not happy to me.
He has another show.
He does it on streaming. Yeah, he does it stream. And I know they're going to probably focus more on their CNN Plus platform that they're launching, which one of the people they have from that is a lady named Audie Cornish, who used to be with National Public Radio, All Things Considered, is now on CNN. That's CNN
right. I remember when she left.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Look at this. Black Beauty saying there's something going on here. CNN is CNN the next.
It could be. To a degree, to some degree. I think they will pander to some of that audience. I mean, it's an audience that they want, but they've never been able to get. They're lunatics.
I don't see MSNBC going that way at all, though.
Huh?
No.
I don't see MSNBC going that way.
No.
Especially now it's a black woman that's
Simone Sanders? Yeah. No, they ain't gonna do that.
And I watch MSNBC. I don't really.
Rachel Maddow is taking a hiatus for, did she say, I think she said 3 months.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Wow.
I'd take one too.
Poor Allie Bell, she's going to be working 7 days a week for 3 months.
Well, Toronto guy.
But it's not good to work 7 days. You burn out, man. Yeah, I don't know. He might start growing hair.
because he's filling in for Rachel.
He lied.
From Toronto, Ali Velchi, by the way, Toronto guy.
He's lovely. He's a lovely man.
Like,
Okay, and Kevin saying, good point, Black Beauty. Blue Rain says, LOL. Kevin says, word, Rachel Maddow. And
yeah, she's taking a hiatus to do like a documentary project or something.
wow. Interesting. All right. We're going to finish up with another media item on a very quiet news week. Yeah, quiet news week. Here we go. Next up, Whoopi Goldberg suspended from The View for Holocaust race from and this is what we're ending off with, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're ending off with. So if you haven't watched the whole thing, you need to rewind or watch the replay because there's been crazy. But this is what we're finishing with.
Right.
Ladies, thoughts.
ABC is a joke. You know, you give them a couple of shows, they get a couple shows like what, Blackish, or is that what they have now, or is it on ABC? And then they have the, you know, I'm offended by some of the stuff that's on certain they never, whatever, go on. I can't even deal with ABC. I can't mess with, I can't.
This is a case of you're gonna learn today, and that was a lesson. They were trying to teach Whoopi a lesson, because here's the thing: Meghan McCain has said such vile things on that show and never got suspended.
They gave her a color purple moment, and I don't like it. That Whoopi went through a color purple moment with ABC. That's what they did. You're right. You're going to learn today. They whooped her in front of America, and they humiliated her. And I don't think I'll ever be okay with that, because what she said was just a term of semantics, and they missed a teachable moment of somebody saying that she said in a way that the Holocaust wasn't about race. I don't think she meant it flat out like it's not about race. Obviously, we knew because the Nazis said that, you know, the Jews were subhuman and they weren't a different race from human beings. They were a different race. We know that Hitler did that, but she said that it wasn't, she was talking, this is like when people get together and do bad things, human beings do bad things to each other. It's kind of like telling little children when they go, Mommy, why is there war? And you say, it's when people do bad things to one another. But that's okay, because next time I hope to hear Whoopi get the hell down when they talk about slavery. And she goes, it's when white people decided to take Black people and burn them at picnics and lynch them. No holds barred. I want her to not hold back. Like, basically, that was a holdback type of comment, because, yeah, and when she could talk about what they did to the Native Americans here, too. When they get, what, Mommy? What was that? You know, want to know what it was? It was when the white people came over here and they infected blankets with smallpox, and they decided to give it to people. Yeah, we could do that, because that's what I see. Talking in a more spiritual or elevated level, ain't nobody happy with that. So here we go. It's balls out right now. And I dare them to reprimand her again when she comes back and gets to say what she wants to say. Let's not mince words next time.
Well, it's interesting. Reports I'm reading saying is she's really upset about this.
I don't blame her.
But she doesn't. And it's interesting.
I have a feeling she wants to leave.
Yeah. And Kevin,
as a Scorpio, I feel it.
Kevin Messer says she should. Christy White saying 100% truth to what you just said.
I will never watch you again.
Kevin says no one wants to hear the truth. And it reminds me of that movie with Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. I remember that line.
Let's just remember that back in the 90s, Ted Danson did a performance in blackface for Whoopi's birthday at a roast.
Right.
And when Black people got upset about that, Ted Danson, NBC didn't suspend Ted Danson from Cheers.
No.
I can't. And Christy is saying, "Oh man, I can't even because we all know she wasn't a woman of color.
Absolutely.
What would this would be?" So here's my question, Aisha and Jill. If Joy would have used the N-word in a questionable manner, do you think they would suspend her?
Joy Reid?
No, Behar on The View.
It depends on how much of a reaction they get back.
Mhm. With Joy, maybe.
It would depend.
Yes.
It would depend on. I think if it was Joy, yeah.
Yeah.
Had it Meghan McCain, no.
I'm just gonna say something here and just put it out there. The N-word is used in so many different platforms by people.
Yeah.
And they don't get suspended by the media properties.
No. But if you say something
Meghan McCain used an Asian slur.
Yeah.
That,
and she wasn't suspended. She used an Asian slur against somebody. She also used microaggressive hairstyles the last couple months before she quit, which we as an audience didn't even know she had put in her resignation. Those hairstyles she was wearing, they were definitely targeted at Black women. Now, we have it is really hard to try to explain this to white people, but those hairstyles that Meghan McCain was wearing were culturally inappropriate. And they were. And if you go back and you look at them, you will see they were from our culture. And she was doing it because there was an issue with Tim Scott, and she was talking about how it wasn't fair, how certain people judge him and he's Black and all this stuff. She got in the pool. And then after that, this bitch started showing up with like cornrows and all sorts of stuff. Mm-hmm. And as far as and she never had before, looking quite the trailer park that she really is. She's, trailer park trash. And let's not forget, they have friends. Her husband was at the Federalist. They're all in places. I know that they're there at ABC. I know it. And you know that when we have people who work in these places, we as Black people have to therefore take the fall. We have to commit harikari for these motherfuckers. And I'm just sick of it. And I actually hope she doesn't come back. I hope she leaves if she does, because I want the show to be dead.
I think that she will leave. Whoopi, I think that she will leave.
On her time, maybe,
well,
No, I think that she will, because the way that they handled this
is bad. I mean, it's bad. And she's a Scorpio. Although Scorpios, I don't know, will take a minute and they will find that time to get you. So that's all I can say is I hope that when she decides to do it, that it's very Macbeth, Lady Macbeth.
Well, Kevin is saying, yep, I remember that Ted Danson incident. Cinema Canella saying, sadly,
she needs to go out like Chris Matthews did, saying, "This is my last show," and leave the chair swirling.
Yeah, but she did apologize, and Mike Lee will leave The View. Christy is saying, agreeing with Jill, absolutely, it was cultural appropriation.
Yeah, you saw those hairstyles too. I was like, what? Yeah. It was directed at somebody. It was either to Whoopi or to Sunny. It was to one of them. And it was trolling, and I saw it. I mean, I think a lot of people, Cinnamon said, I think Whoopi really meant race. But, but she was right. They aren't a different race. So basically, do people want her to support the Nazis narrative? Because she was. She basically said Hitler created that it was about race when it wasn't about race, but he created this belief system that there was a race issue. So which part of this confusing topic are we going to talk about? because to be honest, it was a teachable moment. The Nazis created that mythology about it. It's always been created. People have always said that, these people have, horns or tails, just like they did with us as well. Black people have tails, I told you all about my friends whose fathers told them that Black men had tails when they were little girls, So those kind of boogeyman things. So when Whoopi said this was about race, I don't even know anymore. I'm fucking confused myself. But at the same time, it was definitely a moment for everybody to teach. And basically all it did for me was made me tune the fuck out.
Well, I think I was trying to get whether or not
I don't like the way they handled it.
I was trying to get through maybe
because they didn't care about us.
But what it meant for her to acknowledge, it almost seems like she was acknowledging that there is a white privilege that Jewish people benefit from in this country.
Well,
she didn't say that. She said that she didn't say that. She said that this was about race. And I don't know. And then Joy and them started saying, no, it's not a race. And whatever. The way they handled it, here's the whole point. The tropes get created for a reason.
Yeah.
And if everybody is satisfied with how everybody came for her, just know that there's about 50 million tropes that just got solidified based upon the way people handled that. And now none of y'all fix none of it because there's still a bunch of people who walked away feeling what they felt because it just seems that that's the way it played out, that they really took down the Black woman in a big way.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see if she comes back. It'll be very interesting to see what she says when she comes back. It'll be very interesting to see how long she stays.
Yeah, she doesn't need the View. She's a working actress. Yeah. She works. She doesn't need it. You know?
Look at this. So, Debbie, I just joined on here. I love Whoopi and I love her. This could have been a teaching moment instead of putting down a 65-year-old icon in a timeout. ABC dropped the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree, because they didn't do anything for us when they put Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars, dancing after how many people after how many times he lied about COVID, or he lied about all his times in, or all of them. Really? They didn't give a shit then, did they? And now they're putting another one of those idiots on another one of their dancing shows, Megan, whatever, the one who, the other press secretary who lied. I mean, really, ABC? Go fuck yourself.
Well, they had Tucker Carlson, they had Steve Carey.
Yeah, I mean,
on Dancing with the Stars.
Sorry, Dr. Vibe, I know you don't like swearing, but let's just be honest. I mean, this is outrageous.
Jill,
they have,
Jill, you don't have to tell me that. I knew a long time ago you're all about. I ain't stopping you, girl. You be yourself.
I mean, it's just unbelievable to me. You know, Sean Spicer was like, the fact that they legitimized these people who were liars that caused other people harm. And they were racist. Racist.
Well, remember, they voted for a reality TV president.
And let me tell you something. Dancing with the Stars and ABC, Dancing with the Stars, and all of them have probably been calling him and asking him to come on Dancing with the Stars too. You want to bet these people have no integrity? None. They need to be asking them straight up, because they're still also, let's just be really straight up about even the Jewish people in this country. There's a divide in their worlds too. So they need to get themselves straight too, because some believe one thing and some believe another. You've got some that supported Donald Trump. You have others that don't.
Right. So Kevin saying 1,000%. Blue Rain says, there it is, Aisha. Enough said. Kevin says, with no political history, Aisha.
Nope, not Donald Trump's only his only reason for being their nominee is because everybody liked the way he said you're fired.
There you go.
Right. They didn't care that he had abused young girls.
And
they
Debbie,
didn't care about any of it.
Debbie, thank you for
They're all
being
scum.
first time. Thank you for being a first timer, and we're loving your comments. Please don't be a stranger. And Joe Rogan still has his job. WTF?
Well, they got his little ass in
N-word, okay? All the time.
Yes, he did. All the times he used the N-word.
And you know what Spotify did? Those particular shows have mysteriously
disappeared.
Pulled. Yeah.
They have. Yeah, but there's a few people I know who saved them.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it was like the N-word this, N-word that, N-word this, N-word that. He didn't understand why he couldn't use it. N-word, N-word this, N-word that. It's like, bitch, please. You know, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle propping up these racists. What the hell is wrong with him?
Remember, Joe Rogan isn't anything but a low-level comedian.
He wasn't a comedian. He ate bugs for a living. Was that show? What was it? They ate bugs.
Oh, what's the name?
My God, he's
I don't watch TV.
It was some like people just ate bugs and squishy stuff, and yeah.
He was a comedian that they hired to do the host.
If he was funny, then I'm Godfrey Cambridge.
He's not.
Godfrey Cambridge is a classic.
He was not funny. I went to his show. I went to one accidentally for somebody's birthday at the comedy show. And I was like, I paid for this shit. What is this? Because you know, those comedy shows make you buy 2 drinks straight up. You have to buy these drinks and buy whatever. And you know, for a subpar, tiny little comedian who I could barely see on stage, and I was like a couple seats away from the stage. He's very small. You know, he might really invest in some heels like Prince had because it might make us see him better. He's a very small man.
Right. Indy Irie said the N-word 17 times when she got interviewed. We got the show. We got the show. Thank you, Blu-ray Fear Factor. Kevin says, must be nice to be white. And Adam W. They looked the other way for a lot of people to put Whoopi on blast, selective scrutiny, and they tried to make an example of her.
They did, and to pay for it in a way that they haven't seen yet. The only problem isn't the head of ABC a black woman right now?
I believe one of the senior people at ABC is a black woman.
She's the one who took Roseanne Barr out, remember?
Yeah, I wonder if she's still there, though. Because that was a while back.
I don't know. Girlfriend's been kind of quiet. We need to look up and see if she's still there.
Yeah.
They might have put her back in the coat check room for the winter. You know how they do.
The coat check room for the winter. Oh my goodness.
We see them. They ain't fooling nobody. They give you a title and then you find out. Is a title. They got like 5 other people.
Okay, hold on. So we're just gonna take a look. So a few things. Debbie says, I wouldn't come back if I were Whoopi. Nope. That's so messed up. Blue Rain says Kim Godwin, I think her name is. And then Jen is saying, I think she moved to Netflix.
No, that
Christy
was a short
LOL.
term.
Jill, and then Kevin's going, Jill, coat check room, ha ha ha. And he says, I'm done. Okay, you know what, folks? I am just gonna look in real time the name Kim Godwin and see what I come up right now in real time. Sorry. Yeah, I want to see. We're gonna do this in real time. This will be the last thing. We'll find out Kim Godwin. Where is Kim Godwin these days? And that would say something if she's gone.
It really
would. Okay, hold on here. Let's go.
President of ABC News.
Hold on here. So I'm looking. We're gonna president of ABC News. Well, yeah. Well, it seems that she's still there.
But it's ABC News.
The news.
Yes,
not the network.
So
So
she's been
it's the
switched over.
news. So yeah,
Yeah. So
interesting.
yes. So she has nothing to do with the entertainment side anymore.
Right.
Yep. There we go. Yeah.
Coat check. Coat. Had a pea coat. A black pea coat.
Would you like me to go get a hanger?
Thank you.
Oh, so she's right out of the entertainment, and they moved over to news. Oh,
It says Whoopi Goldberg put on unpaid leave by Kim Godwin, though, on the Daily Mail.
What? Is Daily Mail reliable, though?
I don't know. The View's Whoopi Goldberg is pictured in jacket emblazoned with innocence 1 day after she was put on 2-week unpaid suspension for Holocaust outburst. She didn't deny the party that always denies there was a Holocaust. Let's just get that straight. Number one, none of all these people have been going around saying it didn't exist. If you go and talk to these,
so I'm reading here. Whoopi Goldberg, American actress, comedian, author, and television personality. Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended by The View for 2 weeks. ABC News President Kim Godwin announced Tuesday. I would like to see what she has to say about it, or what she told from higher up about that.
I need to understand if it really was Kim Godwin who
it says Whoopi Goldberg. I'm reading here. Where Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended by The View. This is a story from February 2nd, this past Wednesday, has been suspended by The View for 2 weeks. ABC News President Kim Godwin announced on Tuesday, effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments.
She said that it was not about race. And here's the thing. It was not. They wanted her to cite. Oh,
here's a quote here. And this is Kim Godwin's quote. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take the time to reflect and learn about the impact.
I did read that article. That's the article that I read about it. Yeah.
The entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities. Goldberg, so it was Kim Godwin.
Well, I suggest everybody to read Seth Abramson's thread about it, because as a Jewish person, I think he explained it best, and it's on Twitter, and he spoke about it and how they got it wrong, and that they were only doing so much damage to the narrative about what was happening in the Holocaust by the way that they switched it up. Because that's all I'm going to say. You know, a lot of people in Middle America don't even have Jewish friends. And now they've actually made it where they don't even know what the hell just happened. They don't.
And it says, Jen says, I was thinking of Channing Dungji that fired Roseanne. I think she went to Netflix. All right, we're done.
Oh.
We're done. That's it for tonight. We're over.
Yeah.
We're done. All right, folks. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy show.
Wow. Well, you know what? The audience was right up for it. It was their show too. They were right into it. They were fully engaged. Family Live, thank you so much for watching this live, or watching it or listening to it on the replay. As always, we're going to let the stars of the show give their contact information if you're brave enough to communicate with them, or they'll block. And they do have the right to block you, by the way. First up, Jill Jones.
I am at Jill D. Jones at Twitter, and Jill Jones Music on Instagram. If you want to see that blackface at the rally, I have it on my story.
Fantastic. Aisha K. Staggers.
At Aisha Staggers on Twitter.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I'm going to put myself up here and take down Aisha's name, because I'm not Aisha. Sorry to tell you that. I am Dr. Vibe, and you can find me at a number of different places, but the best place to find me is at my website, drvibeshow.com. All things Dr. Vibe are there. I'd like to say thank you. So many people I would like to thank. So I'm going to see if I can do quick roll call at the end here. Kevin, thank you. And you know, another story we didn't even talk about is Brian Flores in the NFL. We got to get to that next week. Got Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Christy, saying good night. Everyone stay safe. We also have Jen, of course. Blue Rains. Who else? We had a Cinnamon Canela, Black Beauty. The list gets longer every week, which is a beautiful thing. So, as always, I'm just going to switch up some things here for those who are watching and say you can watch replays of State of Things with Aisha and Jill at the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube and Facebook page. Also, my website address, which I previously said, the drvibeshow.com. As always, I finish off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. And one last thing. Remember, don't manage your time. Manage your energy. See you next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about it. Subscribe to the Facebook and YouTube page so you can get notifications. God bless. Peace to all. Keep the faith and walk good.